some people on the right are pissed off already that people are acting like this is old news, that the Obama speech doesn't really matter, that it's not going to have any traction. So let's go to Tucker Carlson making the case that we should care.
Virtually everything that's interesting in the speech, and yet you are seeing now the press, which contains many reflexive defenders of Obama, many throne sniffers who instinctively suck up to power. You are seeing them try to dismiss this as old news. Or CNN, the political director, issued a little statement yesterday saying, we reported on this in 07. Really? Then why didn't you note that the president was telling a black audience that the federal government's racist? Of course, they didn't report on it, and they don't want to report on it now. It's very revealing of where the press stands in this election. They have, by and large, taken a side.
Tucker Carlson is a sad, sad man.
Wait.
I mean, but it's so illustrative of the Republican Party right now. They're so desperate for something, anything, because Romney is behind in the polls. He keeps shooting himself in the foot. I mean, they're like, well, what can we do? Let's bring back this video from 2007, which, by the way, Kilmeade made an excellent point about how the way he governed is not consistent with the criticisms that the Republicans are making right now.
Was that Tucker Carlson? I thought he's dead. I thought he died in 2006 when Jon Stewart absolutely fucked him up.
He's still stinging from that.
No, he's still alive, huh?
No,
his show was killed.
Well, that
but
one was.
He survived.
The sad thing about Tucker Carlson is that he has all the right ideas to go far, but he's just such an unbelievably boring man that even Fox News viewers don't want to watch him, and then they'd rather go to like Beck or something. But so he's talking about like, like nobody covered this. This isn't old news. Like we're just uncovering this for the first time. But in video 7, you see that even Tucker Carlson himself was talking about this back in 07. So let's watch that.
Was talking about a quiet riot today, and no, it was not a reference to the 1980s heavy metal band, unfortunately. The senator waded into the controversial waters of race during a speech at Hampton University in Virginia. He said the Bush administration has done little to quell a brewing storm among some black Americans. He compared the current tension to what fueled the LA riots in the wake of the Rodney King verdict. This is not the first time Obama has sounded such an alarm, but will this kind of rhetoric help or hurt his chances to become president?
Yeah, buddy, that's you covering it in 2007 on MSNBC. It's not a small media outlet, okay? It was covered. You talked about it.
This is unbelievable, these guys. So they were trying to excuse Romney's video. They're like, well, that was shot way back in May. Way back in May, which is like way before June and July, like 3-4 months ago. And then they go to this video from 2007, which they covered repeatedly back then, and they're trying to make it
on Fox, on MSNBC.
He himself, Sean Hannity covered it. I mean, this is a public speech made in a public place. They act like this is some sort of like great golden nugget of wisdom.
They act like someone was secretly recording him during some sort of fundraiser where Obama said something ridiculous about the middle class and the working class.
It's been available on YouTube, portions of it at least. So the actual speech is not a big golden nugget of something revealing about Obama, but I will give him this. The term throne sniffers is going to stick with me long after we stop talking about the Obama speech. That's going to be like late at night, that's going to be disturbing me as I try to go to sleep. So I'll give him credit for that. But yeah, so even the Romney campaign is like, if the media and the country did actually have a problem with what Obama said, they probably would have jumped on this and been so enthusiastic about it. But even they are like, yeah, people don't seem to like that this is brought up. We want to distance ourselves. So let's go to video 4 where they say that we're not going to focus on this old video.
Do you think that video is relevant?
Well, I think a lot of people, voters have to make that up. They have to look at that video and they have to make up their mind on that individually. I think what's much more important to this debate right now are the president's policies, the president's record over the 4 years. I mean, I think that's going to be the most important topic on stage tonight.
It's a smart idea for them to distance themselves because, as we mentioned before, if anything, it's just going to remind the American public of how horrible we were when it came to responding to Hurricane Katrina and how horrible the Republicans were when it came to dealing with Hurricane Katrina. It does more harm to the Republicans than the Democrats, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think we actually, I think we have one more video of a spokesman saying that they're going to distance themselves. Video 5.
Kevin, Sean Hannity said last night he thinks that this video is a bombshell. Do you think it's a bombshell? And will the Romney campaign use it in television ads as the Obama team has used that 47% video in television ads?
Well, I think that it was covered in 2007. I think a number of folks are going to continue to cover it today. How they cover it in that context, I think a lot of that's up to individual voters and whether they think it's relevant to the conversation that we're having today. We believe, as a campaign, I think Governor Romney believes what's most relevant are the president's policies and how they're affecting the economy today, how they're affecting people's bottom line, how they're affecting household incomes. That's a much more relevant debate that we're going to continue to focus on as a campaign.
They don't got Fox News. They don't have the Romney campaign. I feel sorry for the Drudge Report. Perhaps they're sliding out of relevance.
Yes, and when you claim such old news is a bombshell, it's a smoking gun, they have this amazing new evidence, and it's like, everyone shrugs their shoulders and they move on. You lose credibility, and I think it hurts them in the short run and in the long run.